Hello friends, I'm Amanda Barr.
And I'm Rebecca Lou Brennan, and welcome to Dance Principles United, the podcast.
Together, we are passionate about helping studio owners with the business of running their studio.
Join us as we talk everything from marketing, systems, studio culture, motherhood, life, and everything in between.
This is the Dance Principles United podcast. Hey friends, and welcome to another episode of the Dance Principles United podcast. Bec, it's the end of comp season. Oh my God. Has it been huge?
Goodness, we had our last comp yesterday. On the weekend.
Yep.
Oh, it's just such a big weekend, isn't it?
Absolutely. Have you got a hangover today? Comp hangover?
I do have a comp hangover. My alarm went off to go for a walk because, I've been walking and going to the gym every day, Amanda, and I'm being very good. I'm on the BFT 8-week challenge and I couldn't do it. I was exhausted. So I let myself sleep in. I went for my walk at 9 instead and did my phone calls while I was doing that, and I'm going to the gym at 6:30 because it is a real thing, the comp hangover. And we got there yesterday. Well, I got there yesterday with the truck, and this was the second day.
That truck is your own fucking fault.
I literally have I take a truck,
I cannot
guys.
deal with a truck.
I take a truck to comp.
Full of props.
Full of props. They were all laughing at me at the comp as usual, but that's fine. I'm happy. I'm fine with that. So I took the truck and I think we got there at 7:30 in the morning, and this was actually pretty early because we finished at 8 p.m.
Oh, nice. That's not too bad.
I know. But that's the thing. We're saying that's not too bad, but that is a massive day. Then we had to go take the truck back to the studio and
Unload it and, do all those things, right? Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Like I, as a dance parent, did my last comp the weekend before, and I did, as a dance mum, 14-hour days, 2 days, twice. Actually, one day I got to go home a little bit earlier. But, yeah. Absolutely huge, even as a dance mum. They're long fucking days.
Long days. And I was lucky this weekend because on the Saturday we didn't start until 2 o'clock.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah. But then I taught in the morning.
Yeah, so, all the things.
Anyway,
it's huge.
the point is it was the last comp of the year.
Comps are over for the year. So we thought we'd reflect a little bit on comp season being over and what we like in comps, what we don't, our vibes of comps. I know probably so many of our listeners are big in the comp world, probably do we've always done lots of comps a year. How many comps do you do a year?
4.
Okay. It feels like a lot, but it's actually not, right?
But we then have other stuff, like we do ADF, which has a comp attached to it.
Yes,
and
so
then,
you don't include that in your 4.
Right. And then this year I added a comp because we've got this new
For
elite
seniors,
company stream.
Yeah.
And so, it,
Yeah. So
ends
about
up
4.
being more than 4. But
Yeah. We used to do 4 to 5 when I owned the studio. We used to do nationals every second year in Queensland. We'd kind of do 2 different comps up in Queensland. But then we did cheer comps as well. So, then there was that as
that's
well.
the thing. It's never just 4.
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
never just 4.
absolutely
But
not.
we try and do one in July, one in August, one in September, one in October. So that it's
I like
only
it.
one weekend out of the month that we do it.
As much as possible.
Yeah. Because I
love
do
that.
think it's like our comp season is also soccer season.
Absolutely.
It's also footy season. So parents and families have so many different places to go. It's actually crazy. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about today.
No, but like you said, it is. It's a lot on your families, and you've got to make sure as a studio owner that it doesn't burn them out, because burning them out doesn't do you any favours.
Also burning yourself out. I don't I've spoken to studio owners who do 20 comps a year, and I'm just like, what? How could you? That is insanity.
Yeah, it's not good for
That's
you.
half your weekends of the year.
At comps.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Is that right?
Yeah.
A little less than half.
Yeah.
But still.
Absolutely. Hey, talking about that, let's talk solo comps while we're talking. Do you go watch your students in solo comps? Obviously, you've got BB, and so if you're there.
Correct. So if BB and I are there, and if it's like nationals, so we just did Get the Beat. So yes, of course, because I was traveling there, I did.
Yes.
But definitely not on a normal weekend.
Yeah.
And to be honest, even if BB, because she's in 15 and over now, which she's just gone into, but even if she is in 15 and over, and I've got kids dancing all day, I don't go watch them.
All day.
It's too much.
Absolutely.
Look, I used to do, and I'll probably bring it back next year, where I would say to everyone, do this one comp and I will come and watch you at that one comp.
I'm doing one big weekend and this is the one that I'll
To be fair, I didn't do it this year. I think this year's just been a lot.
Yeah.
But we'll probably do that next year, and then they can choose to go in it or not, and then I'll be there for that. I do think it's important to go and watch and see what the standard is.
Absolutely,
that's why I
to know
like
if you're
watching
meeting
nationals, because
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, I know where my kids are at.
Yes. And you know if your teacher's choreography is up to par and all of that, and their technique training and all of those
But if
things.
I went and watched my kids at solo comp,
Yeah.
I would be at a solo comp every single weekend.
Absolutely.
Because we have that many soloists, and also there are so many competitions now. It's insane. So no is the answer.
Absolutely. And I think like if anyone is listening that's still trying to do that, I think it's not scalable. I think it's that thing that we've really got to think with our business heads sometimes. If you're going to all those solo comps, like who's financially compensating you for this? Like it is so much time and money. Like whether you get into the comp for free, it still costs a lot to go and park and do, you know, all the things, but time away from your family as well. So I think if you're still attending a lot of solo comps, like really think about, is that scalable and something that you can do, or is there a way that you can prevent that burnout? Because I do think that burnout's real.
Yeah, I used to go to a lot of them before I had BB.
Yeah.
Once you have a family, it's very different.
Absolutely. I used to too because I, you know, loved it. And, you know, what else? It was fun to go on the weekend, right?
I still love it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but you've also got other
Correct.
things to do on the weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's tricky, right?
And I know what you're saying. Like if you start something like that,
Yes.
it's very hard to pull back from it.
yes.
That's the issue,
And
right?
that's, yeah, absolutely what I mean by it being scalable. Like, you know, is there something you can do long term? Is it okay when you've got 20 soloists, but what about when you've got 50? You know what I mean? Or whatever that kind of looks like, because people then start to expect it.
That's the problem. What you start, you have to continue with, and then it's hard to pull back.
Absolutely. It's tricky.
Haven't we made that mistake so many times? All right, so let's talk about a few things with comp.
Yeah,
because we had some fun notes written down. So
Yeah.
the first one is you wanted to talk about awards.
I did. So I'd love to know what you think, all right?
Yep.
All right, quick answer. Do you like awards straight after the section, or do you like when they hold them off and do like a big awards like at the end of the session?
Oh, I'm torn. I do like it straight after from a teaching perspective.
Because you can remember what the other routines were.
Yes, and you know what I love? Some of the comps now, and I don't know if you know this, some of the solo comps, you can get the voice critique immediately.
Yes.
I love that because then Beebs and I can go back and listen to that critique, see what they're looking for.
Before she does her next routine.
But I would love that for troop. That would be really cool for troop so that I could go back. Anyway, that's not the question. I don't think I've ever seen big awards done super duper well. Maybe showcase. That's it.
Yes.
I have never, like, I've got a lot of comps that are doing the big awards, but whether they do it really well or not.
Yeah, and that's my problem, right? Like now I'm sitting in the parents' seat and seeing it from the parents' perspective, and I've always loved the big awards. However, for me, with a little one who dances but also does not like to sit there after the comp and wants to go home straight afterwards, to hold her there for awards is fine as long as it's going to be great.
Yes.
So if they're going to get them on stage, you know, do a fun dance off.
Which Showcase does. My kids love that Showcase dance.
Absolutely. And a lot of other places do it as well. Like if they do that fun dance, you know, sometimes they do something funny like get parents up or teachers up to do something.
Yep.
You know, things like that, and make a big like thing out of it, then I'm like, yeah, cool, this was worth staying around. If they just hold them off and just read out the sections, or even get them onto stage and just don't make a big deal out of it and just go, you know, section 80, first place, number 12, like, and nothing about it. The kids can't even follow. I think that's an important thing, that little kids can't even follow what you're saying. You know, to me, I'm like, why the fuck did I just hang around an hour for this? if it wasn't even going to be great, or 2 hours or 3 hours. That's my problem with it, I guess. So either do it really well and hold them back, or just do it straight after the section.
You know what else I like about Showcase? And I was just thinking about yesterday, like it was very stressful trying to pick 2 kids to go up and get the award because I have kids feel upset. I have a bazillion kids, and so there's definitely going to be kids, but also I was looking at 4s, 5s, 6s and 8s at that time, all sitting around me trying to go, hang on, which kid's in company and are you in tribe and what's winning and is that a tribe dance or is that a 4s dance? Like, oh my gosh, that was a nightmare. Whereas I love at Showcase that the teacher and studio owner just goes and gets the trophy as they win and the kids are up on stage cheering.
Yes.
That is so much easier.
Yes.
And I think I'm pretty sure there's other comps where the studio owner just goes and gets it.
There's been heaps that I've been to this year.
That is so much smarter. If you're a comp listening to this, please just let the studio owner or the teacher go and get it because it is way too hard
especially
picking
for
2
little
reps.
people. Yeah, it's just not fair to them. Or go over to them where they're sitting in the audience or like some version of it, but picking kids, it's just not fair.
Like I've seen kids on stage have an absolute brawl as well and fight with each other over
who's getting.
Which I get because they all want to go and have that moment.
Yeah, and they want to be in the photo and they want to, I absolutely, this is not in our notes, but I am obsessed with cheer comps and you know this. We've talked about this before. Not
yes,
that you've never
You've always wanted me to go to one.
I want you to go just because they run them so well.
Yep.
So one thing that they do at cheer comps is they get either on the stage or on the floor all the kids sitting down with like a gap up the middle sort of thing. And then the whole team, if they get second place, jumps up. They all run over and they kind of have it like sectioned like really well so that they can do it quickly. They jump in front of the banner. They take the photo. The professional photographer takes the photo of the whole group and they do it really quickly. And so that all the kids feel special. I like that rather than the 2, whether it's the studio owner or all the kids. You just don't want to like just have 2.
Absolutely agree. So that was very dramatic.
Yeah, I get that. Absolutely.
And then it is a bad end as well because there's kids that are upset.
Yeah. It's not a great look for you as a studio owner if you pick the wrong kids and then there's parents crying or kids going home crying. It's not fun. It's absolutely not fun. Okay, what else? What's something that you absolutely love about comps?
Okay, I love it when studio owners and teachers are prioritised. So like, oh gosh, I went to
Give some love.
We're being so bitchy, but anyway. I went to a comp this year. Okay, now let me tell you, Amanda, I bring a fuck ton of money to a comp.
Yes.
Okay. So I have over 250 comp kids this year.
Yes.
How huge is that?
Yep. So quite often you might be bringing 400 parents who are all paying to go into the audience. Yep.
Correct. Plus my entry fees because we have a lot of troops because we have company and tribe now.
Yep. So 2 streams and they're all in the comp.
So it is big bucks for them. So I walked into this comp. It was my first time doing it. I'm not going to say what comp it is, obviously. No one greeted me. No one said hi. I found where I had to go. No one still had said hi. I had a few issues, which I'll talk about later. But I'm just like, as a business owner, would you not go and talk to your biggest client? I don't get that.
Absolutely. It's like, crazy.
Imagine us, for example, at Expo, and we don't go and talk to the vendors, or we wouldn't go and talk to the platinum vendors. Like, it's just so crazy to me.
Absolutely.
That you wouldn't go and make that connection. Anyway, that's just me being a bitch. But
no, it's not being a bitch. I think it's good business service, right? Like, let's be honest. To me, at a comp, their main clients are the studio owners. And usually at a comp, there might only be 10 studio owners there. It's not like there's heaps if it's on a troop day. There's not 500 studio owners there. It might be 10, it might be 20, whatever that is. But to make the effort to go around, especially if you don't know them and haven't met them before, to say, hey, I'm so-and-so, so nice to meet you. I know it's your first time here. Let me show you around. Let me tell you what happened. Like, to have that 2-minute conversation, that's so valuable.
And like, I won't go back to that comp now. That's the other thing. There are so many comps to choose from.
Yep.
We don't have to go back to those ones. So what I do love and what has happened in and I'm going to say this comp, the Ultimate Dance Spectacular, Matt and Trish, is my favourite comp by far to do. You get greeted as soon as you go in. You get a special studio owner pack with Panadol, and I like that. Like, I know it's just something small, but it makes
It's the thought.
It is the thought, and it makes you feel very special. They have a teacher room that has tea, coffee, lunch provided for you, unlimited food.
Yep.
That's a viewing room. They also have a teacher section where away from the audience where you can go and view the troops.
Yep, amazing.
And so you don't have to run all the way around and try and go through a door. They've got like a special entrance for that. I love that.
Amazing. They make you feel seen. They make you feel special.
It's insane.
So good.
Insane.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yes.
I love that.
That's what it should be though.
Absolutely. Talking about that, to me, I think it's so great to see more comps moving to that business model rather than the old school, we used to do the city of whatever comp, and it was very much like a committee, and it was do you remember the days, right?
I do.
The old ladies in the committee and like that kind of thing. The reality is that there's very few comps like that run anymore. They are now businesses. So what used to be okay as a committee and a non-profit organisation is not okay as a business. And these are now businesses that make decent money, so therefore they should be treating it like a business, which means, doing those things, making your clients feel special and seen and all of that kind of stuff, because people are paying great money to be there. Comps are expensive.
They are. Actually, we haven't written this down yet. I'm just going to keep going with this. So something that I was thinking about yesterday. So this comp changed the way they did it, and they got every parent to pay $45 and you can bring as many people as you like.
I love that.
Yes, see, I don't love that from a studio owner perspective, because then I have to collect that money from parents.
Okay, it depends on how they're doing it. I like it when I just have to send the link to the parents and I don't have to have anything to do with it.
Oh, yes, that would be
That's all really
brilliant.
good. If I have to collect the money, absolutely not. Putting more work.
So I hate that from a studio owner perspective. But then yesterday I realised how much better it was for parents at the beginning of the day, because rather than them all waiting in that terrible line and getting...
Once again, bad service from a business.
Very bad service, and them having to then be late to get their child to the change room because they're waiting in the line to get their ticket with their child's dream duffel, and then that runs really late.
Yes.
And one of the comps I went to this year refused to let people in early, even though they were there ready to go. Refuse. I'm not joking. Right? So my parents... So
it was a huge line.
It started at 8:30. My parents were there at 7:30, which was the arrival time.
It's what you told them to get out. So, yeah.
But they refused to open until 8.
Had they published anywhere that doors wouldn't open till 8?
Probably.
It's hard to know, isn't it, right?
They probably did.
But still, they were there and set up. So why wouldn't they just start?
Literally. Like, I went up at 7:45 and they were like, you can't come in here yet. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
It's funny, isn't it? Because talking about that business perspective, like, it's very important to make sure your staff are lovely and have good customer service.
Yes.
Because the cranky old ladies that used to work at the city of whatever committee do not fly anymore in a business setting. I had a cranky old lady experience the other week at a comp as a parent. I had bought my 2-day wristband, the day before. There was I have to pay for comps now. It's pretty I'm not happy about it. Anyway. The lady knows who I am. She knows that because she's been on, doing that for a long time. So I know her. I know her name.
Yeah.
There was a huge line to get in.
Of course.
I had already paid a 2-day wristband, so I walked around the line with my 7-year-old daughter to take her straight to the dressing rooms because, once again, I didn't want her to be late and I'd already done that. And I kind of just went, oh, hi, and showed my wristband and waved. She came running after me into the change rooms, left the other people that she was serving and was like, you're not to walk through here. I'm like, oh, I have a 2-day one. She's like, that's not the right colour for a 2-day one. I'm like, yeah, it is. Well, if it's not, whatever. But I paid for a 2-day one yesterday from the comp organiser. I can show you my receipt. It is not the 2-day one. You have to come back here right now. I'm like, can I just go take my daughter in and then I'll come back and sort it
You
out.
didn't tell me this.
No. And I was like, I'll come back and sort it out. No problems. Like, no issue. And I wasn't angry. I was like, just let me take my daughter in because it was quite a distance to take her. And then I'll come back and we can work it out. No, you must come back right now. I'm like, no, pretty sure I'm going to take my daughter in. and then I'm going to come back. And she's like, oh, you better come back. Make sure you do. I'm like, I will. Don't worry. So I took Sass in, got her settled, went over and went, hey, cool, can we talk about it now? So yesterday I paid X amount of dollars for 2 days and they gave me this wristband. Well, I have here that it's this coloured wristband. I'm like, and then the owner was standing next to her. She went, no, that's fine. I went, yeah, see ya, bye. Like I definitely pay. But do you know what I mean? It's just like, and it was a silly thing, but it's, as comp organisers, you need to make sure that your staff are treating people as customers like they're in customer service.
Absolutely.
It is so, so important because that happens backstage, right?
I was just, I was just thinking that I hate it when they make stupid rules backstage. That's the first thing I hate. Like I was saying before, Amanda, like, why are you trying to make my 6 and unders run on from the other side of the stage when they've always run on from that side? Like, is it really that busy backstage?
Yeah, that they can't make a special allowance if you're standing there.
But why even have rules about that? Just let kids run on whichever way they need to run on and off and just give a little bit of time for them to get out of the way so the next troop can come on. Like,
be flexible.
Be flexible because we've all practiced with our kids doing it a certain way and then we get to a comp and there's rules, so many rules.
And people freak out.
I got yelled at this year.
Oh, God, I can imagine the person yelling at Bec.
It did not go down well. So there was a comp that did eights back to back, right? Or sixes. So let's just talk eights, for example.
Yeah.
We have tribe and company. So in most sections we have 2 troops.
Yeah, and different kids in each
Correct.
Group. Yep.
And our kids do ballet, jazz, tap, hip hop, lyrical and contemporary, right? So they're in 6 of probably 9 sections of the comp.
Yes.
So we are running around like absolute fuckwits.
Absolutely.
So I was not side stage yet, but out in the holding area type thing, just going through the positions for them to run on stage. And we're very organised, let me tell you. We have every single troop, exactly what their lines are. So I'm there calling out. I have it written down. I'm there calling out the lines, okay? And this woman comes out and she's like, you must go backstage now. And I said, yep, we're just about to go backstage.
I'm getting my kids in line.
I'm just putting the kids in line. You're running late and everyone's running late because of you. Oh.
Did you lose your shit?
I lost my shit. I really lost my shit.
Yeah.
I just said to her, I will not be yelled at in front of my kids. We will come backstage when we are ready.
Yep.
If you need to pause for a couple of minutes, I'm sorry about that. But my troops are back to back to back to back.
Yep.
And I'm bringing a lot of money in here. And then I wanted to speak to the owner, of course, of the comp and just said the same thing. And I'm just like, it's so disrespectful. I am doing my best. Like I
want them to go on stage too. Yep. Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Crazy. When there's only 6 in a section and the kids are running out to get changed into the, like, it's a lot. It's a lot. Just have some understanding.
Yeah, and I think if you run it like that, that's fine, no problems. But you've got to also understand that sometimes a 6-year-old's going to take a little bit longer and you've got to have some allowances for that and be understanding to the studio owner that they've got a lot going on. There's a lot of kids to change.
Yes.
There's nothing worse. You know what I hate is that I hate that whole thing. We never used to let parents into the dressing rooms, even with like 6s and 8s at a comp, regardless of what the comp said, because I cannot deal.
What?
Yeah. I cannot deal with the parent stress. The parents all standing up from the audience going, I've got to get out. Oh my God, she's got jazz next. And where are her jazz shoes? Oh my God. Like that.
That is true. And it actually stresses the kids out as well. I saw it yesterday so many times.
Yes, absolutely. And I am such a big believer that I was like, and I was lucky that I had enough of team members there. So, if I had a group of 25, I might have 2 staff, maybe 3 staff, and then usually a couple of teenagers hanging around. And I was like, you know what? I can do it. Yes, maybe it might take 5 minutes longer, but I don't have the parents stressing the kids out, yelling. I hate the whole look of them jumping up from the audience, running. You know that thing where they try to get out the door before the door closes and all of that. I just hate it. And so I was always like, I'm going to take longer and tell them to wait for me because
it's actually smart. Yeah. I've never thought of doing that. I don't know that we could do it. I mean, logistically, it would be very tough for my team when we've got 6 kids that are less than 6.
Yeah.
But still.
But definitely you could for 8s because they can dress most of themselves.
For 8s, 10s, anyone else, you definitely could.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's an interesting concept because there's still people who do concerts where their parents change the kids, and I think,
absolutely. And that's my thing. I'm like, I don't need the parents at concert. I don't need them at comps. For the same reason that it, number one, isn't a great experience for the parents, that it stresses them out. It stresses their kids out. We've all had that one parent who yanks their daughter's hair too hard and upsets them or whatever, right? And I'm like, I don't need this. I need or that comes backstage and goes, you weren't smiling enough in that routine, or make sure you point your toes. And you're like, hey, let's not stress our children out before they're about to go on stage for another routine. I'm so into that. And also there's always some comps that don't allow parents, right?
Yes.
So that way I just made it across the board rule that it was always the way. If I really needed, I'd ask one parent or 2 parents that I knew. I don't know.
Interesting.
Just thinking about this, we're all like,
I don't mind that idea. I might play around with that idea.
I always think about it like benefit-driven for parents. You guys just relax. We've got the kids. We're having a ball. We're so fun. So fun. Hey, can we talk a little bit more about awards? Just talking about stressing
Sure,
sixes
let's
out.
go back to awards.
I'm back to awards. So I was saying, before we got on mic, I mentioned this to Bec, but as a studio owner, I used to fucking hate the ribbons. The ribbons that they would give you in a pile for all the kids, and they'd give them to you at the end of the day, and then you'd put them in your handbag and you were like, where the hell are the ribbons? There'd be a random parent 6 weeks later going, my child didn't get the highly commended ribbon.
I have that right now. We're getting
ago.
so many emails about it, and I have so much anxiety around it.
And I'm like,
I hate it.
I don't know where it is. I've lost it in the back of my car somewhere. I chucked it in the bin. You know what I mean? There's so much. You're like, here, just have a random ribbon. I hated it as a studio owner. And I was like, could you not give me a pile of ribbons? Correct. I do not want to give them. Yeah. However, I'm now a dance mum. I now have a daughter, as we've talked about on the podcast. My older 2 daughters couldn't have cared less if they missed out on a ribbon, or if they did, they'd say something to me and be like, you're right, don't worry about it. My youngest daughter, having that ribbon would mean the world to her.
It's interesting.
It would mean the absolute world to her to go home with a ribbon or a certificate. And so I was thinking, as I was sitting there and they were doing the big awards ceremony, right, at a comp recently, I was like, how good would it be if instead of putting the expectation on the studio owners and making it harder for the studio owners, which is their clients, that the comp organisers, when all the kids were on stage doing a bit of a dance off or whatever before the awards, they made sure all the kids felt special and seen by handing out a ribbon to every kid, like a participation ribbon.
Love it.
Then they only need one ribbon or, a badge or a whatever, right? A certificate for all I care. But giving it on the stage so that the teachers don't have to take anything home and remember to give it to their clients.
Yep.
The kids all come off the stage happy, like when we're talking little ones, when we're talking 6s and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they all come off this. I was like, that would be so good. I think Showcase used to do that back in the day. They used to give rosettes out. I don't know if they still do. It's been a long time. But stuff like that made a big impact to the kids. And that's like they remember.
I would happily pay an extra $5 per kid to get that, that I didn't have to go through that.
Absolutely.
So I hate the ribbons so much. It is so, and then it actually takes so much admin time when we get back to the studio.
To sort them out, remember.
Then we have to, certain teachers don't remember to hand them out and others do, and then there's the fighting over that, and it's such a thing. Absolutely.
So I think it'd be really good for comp organisers to think about it from the studio owner perspective, and how could they make their life easier and make the kids go home, because that's why we love those awards, right, best sportsmanship or, studio that cheered the loudest or whatever.
Yes, I love those awards.
It gives a chance for some kids to be seen.
Yes.
That maybe didn't place in the section.
Correct.
And it gives like all the studios like, oh, we got the best sportsmanship award. Didn't place, but whatever. It's great for the kids to be able to go home. So giving them all that ribbon or the certificate or the rosette or the whatever would give that chance for them.
And I feel like comps should be smart about that and watch who's got awards through that time and then go, okay, they didn't get awards. Like,
let's give them.
As if you wouldn't do that because they're all clients who will come back if they've had a decent experience.
Absolutely.
They just want something to post on their social media to say, we won loudest cheerers. Like, who cares what it is?
Yeah.
You just want it as a studio to put on your socials.
Absolutely. And that's what, I feel, I've said this before, cheer comps do really well. They give medals to every kid.
Yes.
As at awards, every kid gets a medal.
That's so smart.
Participation medal, wonderful. That's all people need.
And I don't care if it's the crappiest plastic medal you've ever seen in your whole life. If every one of my kids got that, it would have made such a difference in comps.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got all-star medals that are participation medals.
Great.
Hanging all over my house because my kids, and they haven't done an all-star comp for 3 years and they still love them.
And we give our kids a medal the first comp.
I love that.
Yeah,
so
we
clever.
do it every single year without fail. But it wasn't first comp this weekend, was it?
So probably
and they've forgotten about that, haven't they?
Absolutely. And probably you had kids that went home. I would imagine if you've got a kid in your class that's like Sass, that even if they won first place, went home and went, how come I didn't get a trophy? How come Miss Bec got the trophy and I don't get the trophy? Yeah. And the parents like, oh, because Miss Bec will keep it at the studio safe for us.
For what?
Yeah.
That's the other thing I hate. Like, what are you going to do with that trophy?
Absolutely. I'd rather every kid have a medal.
Same.
Or every kid have a ribbon and no trophies.
100%. I hate the trophies so much.
So many trophies.
Waste of we just throw them in the bin.
Yeah.
Or we give them out to hardest worker. We don't do that with the little kids because then someone cries.
Yeah.
And then what else? What are people? How many trophies? I've had the studio for 21 years.
There's a lot of fucking trophies.
There's a lot of trophies. Like sometimes I go home with 2 full boxes of trophies.
Oh, yeah.
What is the point of that?
Yeah.
Even BB from Solo Comp, we get home and unpack the dream duffel and put the medals and trophies into the bin.
Oh, straight into it?
What am I going to do with them?
Yeah, you can't fit everyone in your house, right?
Like she'll keep a couple of special ones.
Yeah, but generally not.
But I'm just like, this is you're spending so much money on these comp people, and I'm just literally coming home and putting it from dream duffel into bin. I know that's not a lot of solo kids, and I know they have the room of trophies and medals. I don't have that space in my house. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Each to their own. Yeah, absolutely. And I would rather see that money into the experience. We're talking about experience. Those comps that offer things like, photo ops out the front for kids, the 360 cameras.
Yes.
I was talking about the cheer comp as well. Like CheerCon's an incredible cheer comp, and they have a thing called, I can't remember what it is, but they call it something like Photo Alley, basically, and they have Santa there to take, with the Christmas ones, and elves. Then they have another backdrop, and they have all these activations all next to each other to be able to have all these moments and all these special things. Maybe it's called paparazzi. I'm sure someone listening is going to correct me because it's been a while since I've been to those.
That's so cool.
But all this other stuff for the kids to do. They have, some things are really over the top, like they have, the 360 cameras or the big balloons, or they have Santa sitting there at Christmas time because that's near where their nationals are. But, even just the backgrounds or the, what could you do? I'd rather see money put into that. I think that rather than, another trophy, right?
Absolutely. But, and you know what, people do put a media wall up, but sometimes they, I know, but at least it's better somewhere to take a photo. But sometimes they put the media wall up, not even where backstage is. So you're like, well, I'm going to walk the kids downstairs and around the corner to the media wall that's, instead, put it in the marshalling area where we've got our kids and we're going to then go, oh, quick, get a photo.
Yeah, that would make more sense. It's hard because then probably the parents aren't in that area.
But
put one
2.
in each. Yeah. Be smart.
$300 to get made.
Absolutely.
Just have to.
True. That's the interesting thing because I know you told me about BB and her friends. All they wanted was a 360 photo with you. Is that right or something? Is that the one still in the back? Oh my gosh, look at that. Still in the back of Bec showing me her, because this is an audio medium, Bec. And she's showing me something.
There's a camera
There
here.
is a camera. Hopefully you're watching on YouTube and you just saw the back of Bec's phone
It's still
case.
on the back of my case.
And
It was such a special moment because they were all there, the whole troop, the whole senior troop at this photo media wall. This was also at Ultimate Dance Spectacular. And they had props for them to put on, like sunnies and blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah.
I was walking past and they're like, Miss Bec,
Yeah.
we want to get a photo with you. I felt special.
Yeah.
We all got the photo together and I've still got it in my phone because I genuinely, that moment makes me happy. It was such a beautiful moment.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing, like, does anyone really remember what places they got at random comp?
Can't remember what happened yesterday.
It's so not important,
Yes.
right? Like, obviously you remember big things, but at a comp, you don't remember whether you got first, second or third or anything like that. But I will remember that moment forever.
Absolutely.
And that's
your
the difference.
And that's what you said, that your kids that was so much more fun to them than the first place trophy that they probably got at that comp as well.
They wouldn't know what they came first.
They couldn't tell you, yeah.
Because that was 2 comps ago.
Yeah,
They would have
absolutely.
no idea what they got.
Absolutely. So yes, if you're a comp organizer listening to this, like what could you do that's like special moments, I guess? Because I think that's what makes it. And I love comps like that. We've got so much choice
Yes.
of comps to do these
That's
days.
the thing. That's the thing. All right. We're still going.
We're still going. What else was
This
on our
might
list?
become 2 podcasts, I think. This is a long one, but that's all right. Enough change room space.
Oh yeah.
I think this especially kills me because, oh my gosh, I'm going to tell you the funniest story about this as well from years ago. But I have a massive school and expecting all of our kids to get changed in a very small area is not going to work, especially if you're going to bring my 6s, 8s and 10s all in together.
Yeah, at the same time.
It makes it chaotic. It makes it hot. The kids hate it. It is just the worst experience. Like the worst experience.
Absolutely.
I have to tell you my funny story about
Okay,
this.
let's go.
This is a juicy one. This was a few years ago. It was the year of COVID ending.
Yep.
And there was 0 comps, right? But this one comp was on. And I was there with Brianna. Do you remember Brie?
Yeah.
So
I did her
Brianna's
comp the other day. It was great.
Yes. Okay. So we're there. We get there. Now Brianna has a pretty big school and I have a pretty big school, not as big as it is now, but I probably had 120 comp kids. She probably had about the same, okay? We get there to this comp and they had 2 change rooms either side. You know the really small change rooms that you have at the very, very old stages that could maybe fit 3 people in if
there's
you're
like
lucky?
a green room that just for them. Yeah, with the little. Yep.
That was it.
God.
Get this though, there was a big room that could be hired that this comp person hadn't hired.
You'd been at a comp there before that had used that. Is that, or you just knew you've been to that venue? You knew what was
No,
there?
I got there and went, this isn't going to work, and
Yeah.
walked around the venue to find this
Another
room.
space.
And then I said, why can't we go in this space? To the owners of the building or the workers in the building. They said, you can, but it hasn't been paid for, so therefore you can't. So Brianna and I paid $500, which is not a lot of money, to hire that.
additional space
Correct.
because the comp organizer wouldn't.
Correct. And then we had it out with the comp organizer.
Yes.
At the end, as you can imagine.
But I love
would.
that you took it upon yourself to make it a good experience for your kids.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
Like, that would have been the most impossible. And they said the kids can get ready in the toilets. I'm like, no, what are you talking about? There's a, it's just,
Yeah,
anyway.
it's crazy. And I love that because I think the lesson in that, because I was talking to somebody else about recently that was talking about they didn't love the critiques. They had a real problem with the critiques that they'd got from their comp, and they very strongly disagreed with some of them, which I get. And I was talking to them about make the experience what you want to do it as a studio owner. And so I think that's exactly that. Like you and Brianna took it upon yourself and made it a great experience for your kids when it wasn't going to be. And sometimes we have to do that as studio owners. Just like I said to this studio owner, we'll do what you want with that, but you know, you don't have to share those critiques with the kids. You could give a go, hey, I listened to the critique, it was awesome. This is some of the things that it said, or this is, you know, you could make it what you want it to be, because it's important as a studio owner that we make it the best best experience it can be for our kids, right? And our clients.
Struggle with voice critiques anyway. I was saying, I find
To
that.
be fair, I don't know if this was a voice or not, but yeah.
But like I loved, and I'm going to sound so old now, but I did love the old school report that just had the few comments on it. You go back, you read it out to your kids, you're done. Now you've got to log into this particular website and then find where the critiques are and then download the critiques. I'm like, it's
and they
a lot.
take a long time to listen to.
Gosh.
My daughter came home from class the other night and she's like, we were listening to some critiques tonight. I was like, did you listen to this one? She's like, no, we can't listen to all of them because, she was in 12 comp routines or 10 comp routines. You can't sit there and listen to that many of them in a class. Otherwise, you're not doing any work for the whole class.
Trip goes for 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's 40 minutes worth of sitting there listening in class the next week. If you're doing comps every couple of weekends, you can't do that.
Yeah, and I try so hard to be good with that stuff, but we're not good at it.
What, sharing them? Going back and listening to them? What are you not good at?
Yeah, bothering. I don't like. It's very rare for me to bother. I think my staff are a lot more on it than me. They like to hear the critiques, but it's very rare for me to go back, listen to it. And there's probably some great stuff being said. I was saying before at some of the solo comps, BB gets the critiques immediately, and I love that. That is really good because you're then and there and in the moment, like getting those critiques straight away as soon as they've danced. And having time to then, or being allowed to then sit down and, because that's what they do at cheer as well, don't they? Like you watch your routine back or something.
So you watch your routine back straight. So you come off the floor.
Yep.
You go straight and they watch all the kids run straight to a TV where they watch an immediate replay of them. So they get to watch themselves back. Like how fun is that? And the kids all love, oh my God, look what I just did there. Oh my God, look at this. And you're like, guys, that was so good. So you get immediate feedback and they get to watch it. Then you get your scores pretty much straight away, depending exactly, but you get them through because you can also question them as well. Because it's done on a criteria and stuff, you can question them. But yeah, it's really quick, which is so good. And you also get told straight away, different comps do different ones, but some of them even text you as the organizer going, because there's deductions as well. Hey, just letting you know you got a deduction, or you hit 0, which means you got no deductions.
Right.
Which is so good because you're getting that immediate feedback while you're still with the kids, which
Imagine
is so
how
great.
cool that would be, right? And I know I'm like pipe dreaming here, but imagine your kids coming off stage, sitting and watching the dance back that they just did with the judge's voice critique
straight away.
That would be amazing. That would be so good.
That would be so much fun. And the kids would love it.
They'd love it.
And then they can, then it's done. Because you know what you said before, you're like, I don't listen to all the voice critiques. Like, I totally get it. You've seen those memes, like voice memos, the new form of torture, because they go forever. You had 40 comp routines over the weekend, troop routines? Like, you have time to sit there and listen to 40, feedbacks that go for 3 minutes. If it was written, it would be much quicker to scan through it, right?
100%.
And read it rather than listen. But yeah, I love that idea, what you've just said about the straight back and that immediate replay.
That would be amazing. And also the kids come off and they're like, was it good? Did we do it good? And you're like, wasn't your best? Or I'm talking seniors here. I'm not going to say to my 4 and unders, wasn't your best.
Can you imagine?
But seniors, I'm always like, yeah, it was epic. And they're like, it didn't feel good.
Yeah.
So then for them to get to watch it back would be
That's what
amazing.
I love about cheer comps. They make it an experience. Hey, just while we're talking about this, because, look, I could go on and on about cheer comps because I think any comp organizer should go to a cheer comp to see how it's run and take a leaf out of their booklet, because there is so many great things about it, and it is easy. It is
fucking
different.
expensive though.
They're fucking expensive, but you get what you pay for, right?
Yep, true.
But there's so many great things they do. And just when I'm saying cheer comps, just to be clear, I'm talking all-star comps, which also have dance in them, but it's a whole different sort of style. It's all-star dance.
Is there? Right. I have no idea.
So, yeah, there's hip-hop and there's lyrical sections and jazz and stuff as well.
Right.
However, they are so good because there's you are on, you get told that you're performing at 3:33 and you know that you are. You report, and I'm going to stuff the times up, so please don't come at me. But, you report 25 minutes beforehand and you go to check in and then you have 3 minutes at each station to warm up. And you go through. Have I told you this before?
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm talking about? Yeah,
you've told me. Yeah.
So you go, you check in, then you go to the once again can't remember, but you go to the stretching station, and there's a clock up on the wall with a timer, and you stretch for 5 minutes. Then you go to the tumbling station, and you practice your tumbling on a long floor for 5 minutes. Then you go to the stunts section. Then you run your routine once. Then you wait for 1 5 minute. Then you're on.
Yeah, that's so good.
And it's so good in terms of like warming the kids up. They know exactly what to expect. There's none of this, oh, you're on really soon, guys. Oh, wait, relax. It's not for a while. Oh, wait, they've changed the order. They've gone back a little bit. Oh, you know that thing where you like
Yes.
pump the kids up and then you're like, wait, sit back down, settle down.
I love a live program.
Oh, yeah, they're so good.
That's a new thing. I had that for the first time at Carnival this year, and I
They're great.
loved it. That just made everything so much easier because yesterday, one of our main 10 and unders started vomiting.
Oh, no.
So we had to reblock. What happens? So we had to reblock the 10 and under routine, Jazz, before we went on. And so I kept saying to BB, quick, run and see what they're up to. Run and see what they're up to. So she's running back and forward like a crazy person because we're outside trying to reblock this routine and I don't want them to miss this. Whereas a live program, we could have just checked it. Yeah. Looked. So I do love a live program for that
Absolutely. There's
reason.
so many great things.
Judging.
Oh, judging. We're still
We
talking
haven't
about
done
judging. Oh, gosh, so much to talk about.
I love this.
Absolutely. So we've talked about critiques. Obviously, critiques that actually say something, number one, that actually give you some feedback. Yes, I hate when it's all positive, but then you didn't place, for example. You know what I mean? Like, well, it wasn't perfect. Let's be honest. I'm a dance teacher. I sat here and watched it. This routine was not perfect. Don't tell me that they had a good costume, great attitude, good job, girls. Like, say, hey, I'd like to see this. Hey, I'd like to see this.
A bit of both. You want some
absolutely.
positive and some negative in there for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
But you need some feedback that's valuable. Do you like 1 judge, 2 judges, 3 judges? What do you like?
I hate multiple judges.
Really?
Yep. Because I think when there's multiple judges, an average team can win.
Okay.
And I like it when there's an obvious choice.
That they like this style? Yep.
I like it.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I like
know.
multiple judges.
I know. It's an unpopular opinion.
No, it's just
Most
interesting.
people will say they prefer multiple judges, but I just think with multiple judges, one judge can give that group 90 and one can give it 70. And so the group that actually got 80 is the one that wins. Like, you know what I mean by that? Anyway, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's different, and I think it works well in some sections, not in others. There's a whole heap of things probably.
I think multiple judges is fine as well if they're allowed to actually converse and speak to each other.
Yeah, okay.
But when they're just marking and not actually able to say, hey, where did you place this one? What happened here?
Yeah.
And nut it out in that sense.
Okay.
I think that then can,
Yeah. You know what I really like from judges is when you get a clear judging criteria of some sort. I really like that, because we know that sometimes, like obviously dance is subjective and there's all of that kind of stuff, right? But we've all been to comp, especially back in the old school days, right, when we used to do city of whatever comp, you'd get 75 out of 100 and you're like, what is 75 out of 100? Or you get 92 and then you're like, wait a second, you know that your dance that got 75 was better than 92, but they, this one, like, just really random shit like that.
yes, and parents can't see that
Understand.
either. Like
They're like, what mark did you get? You're like, don't worry about the mark. Like, doesn't mean anything. It's always my go-to. Like, I'm not telling you the mark because it doesn't fucking mean a thing. Like,
so true.
it matters in relation to what the other groups. So unless you know what every other group got,
Yes, which you don't.
yes, cheer comps you do. You know exactly what every
Right.
other group got, and
Right.
therefore I feel like it's relevant.
Absolutely.
But if you just get given a random mark on you're like, oh, awesome. Well, was I 25 points away from first place, or
Yes.
was I half a point? Like,
Yes.
who the fuck knows?
And then soloists will come in and go, ooh, she got 88 this time and last time she got 78. And I feel like saying, yes, but it's different judges at a different comp.
Yeah.
So it doesn't actually matter. None of that matters.
Parents that say that to you, oh, she's improving because her marks improve. You're like, it is not the same comp. It is not the same judge. It does not matter. They've made this number up.
But what we're saying makes no sense.
No. It's different to swimming where it would be like, hey, they've beaten their time and their personal best has improved.
Yes.
So
the criteria, I like
those too, you know, and it doesn't, like I do understand, you know, it could be 10 for costumes, 10 for this, you know, 25 for technique, 25 for choreography, whatever that is, right? But I think just a little bit clearer about where they're pulling this random 92 out of 100 from.
I agree. And I like the idea of then seeing your mark for choreography and potentially going, okay, well, we scored really high in everything else except choreography.
Yep.
So clearly that's where we've gone down a little bit. Or we scored really high except for technique. So maybe we need to work on our dancers' technique. Like that would be helpful. I like the costume thing and I've never liked it before.
The costume thing.
Like having a mark for a costume.
Oh, yeah, I like that too because then if it's just a picked on costume, it's so easy to know.
As a judge, I would think it would be very hard because we've got this whole inappropriate costume stuff happening now.
Yeah.
And so as a studio owner, we want them to mark people down who are doing the inappropriate costumes. Yes. But then it's not the kids' fault. And if the kids are trained beautifully and are doing an amazing job but just have an inappropriate theme and costume, that's actually not the judge's fault. So then do they reward? Like that would be a hard decision. Whereas if 20 of those marks is for costume, they can give that group a 5 out of 20 for their costume. And yes, maybe then they won't place, but then at least the studio owner can see they didn't place because the judge didn't think the costume was appropriate.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's better than writing this costume is inappropriate. Maybe it's because that's got to be hard as a judge to write that because that is a spectrum and there's all of that kind of stuff going on. But yeah, if they could give a mark to the costume and you could see that their technique or got 20 out of 20, for example, and then their costume was low, you're like, I'm going to take this as a sign.
I feel like we're getting a bit behind in Australia with costuming and I want to tell you why. And this is completely off topic, but whatever. You know, I follow the US stuff so closely. I'm obsessed with it. Their costume is getting a lot more costuming, less revealing.
Okay. What more fabric on the body is what we're trying to say.
That's what I'm trying to say in a stupid way. I don't even know. But even when you're looking through their catalogues now, you'll see that there's a lot more long pants. A lot of the kids are wearing longer outfits.
Yeah.
So I feel like we will get to that, but you know how we're always behind them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's really good to see because it's interesting too because when I'm, as a studio owner, when I'm talking to my staff, so the in clothing at the moment is tracksuit pants, right? Yep. So when the seniors are in tracksuit pants and they're doing some sort of a, you know, sit on the floor with their legs apart, for example, okay? You know what I mean? Like kneeling on the floor and they do the head thing and all that.
Yeah.
In tracksuit pants, that looks totally fine.
Absolutely.
Okay? There's nothing being revealed. It's fine.
Yeah.
But then when we go to comp and we've been told to dress them or we are dressing them in fishnets and a leotard, that is a very different look.
It looks very different.
Very different. And I've actually got this thing now with my teachers where I say, okay, you want this costume for this. Let's bring some kids in that have those as solo costumes. And let's just see what it looks like. And I did this with a teacher this year. And as soon as I put those costumes on those seniors and they sat down in that position, the teacher went, oh no.
This is not what I wanted.
Ooh, we can't have this. We can't have this. And I said, you see?
Yeah.
And so we ended up going with long pants for that and then it's fine. So I think that's interesting and something to remind your teachers about is what they're wearing in class is actually not what they're wearing on stage.
Yes.
And I think it in solos all the time as well. Like, you know, they'll do it a roll or something where they lift their bottom up to the audience, which again in class you're not noticing because they're probably in long tights, but put that kid in a leotard and they don't even wear fishnets or stockings anymore. It's a very different look. So you must practice in your costumes.
Yes, and have a look about appropriateness of choreography in the costume.
Exactly.
Or vice versa. Yeah. Either one, whether it's the choreo
and I
costume.
get that seniors have to have mature moves and I understand that totally.
Yeah. Of course.
And I've had teachers that have said to me, yeah, but it's the industry. And I get that.
Absolutely.
But a dance competition is not the same as a nightclub. Mm-hmm. In a nightclub or on stage with an artist, it's a very different vibe because it's adults at those venues.
Yes.
And not parents of the people up on the stage.
Yes.
Whereas
also a whole heap of things like about where you're sitting. Like sometimes at comps you're sitting very close to them. Sometimes at comps your seniors are on at 10 a.m. in the morning with all the lights on in the audience because they can't turn them off in the school hall or whatever it is. The setting matters, right?
I remember once going to a full-time grad. This was years ago. And, you know, it's a full-time grad and I get that it's going to be mature, but
absolutely,
I'm not kidding. These full-timers felt like having sex on stage. That's how full-on one of these pieces was.
Yeah.
And my student's grandfather was sitting in the audience because
who was on stage.
Of course, because it's a full-time grad. Mm-hmm. And I just remember looking at him at that point in time and thinking, he must feel so uncomfortable right now.
Did he just pay this money and gift it to his granddaughter as a present to do full time? You know what I mean? Like 100%. There's so much in that. It's like, did he just sit there going, did I just pay all this money to sit and watch my granddaughter do this?
But I think this is something to think about in our own concerts. Like it is audience members there that are parents. Like if you have kids of your own, you don't want to actually see your child doing that. And I know even BB has had a mature jazz piece where I was like, I feel uncomfortable watching this, let alone her dad.
Yeah.
And I've just said, absolutely, I won't have it. I'm not having it.
Absolutely.
Especially in that outfit. You know, like it's
so important. And I think it, you know, off topic because we're now talking concerts, but I do think, you know, we've really got to think about the audience, the setting, all of those things. Because you've told the story before about Tim coming to his first dance thing to see BB, and BB was probably only like 11 or 12.
Yes.
Like, is that right? And he just sat there going, I cannot watch this. But that's how other dads or other uncles or grandfathers or whatever feel in some people's concerts.
Oh, that was funny. He goes, did the organizer choose these? It was a workshop-y thing, right? Did the organizer choose the costumes for these children? And I said, no, the parents chose it. And he said, the parents are choosing for 8-year-olds to wear a latex skirt with black fishnets and black jazz shoes. And I was like, yep, probably wasn't the best thing to bring you to first time. But also, there's a lot of dads that are probably going first time to things.
Absolutely.
And the only other place, and I say this to my teachers all the time, the only other place that you will find, and I call them slut boots. I hate spats, right?
Yeah,
I am
hate
such
a lace up ones.
I said to one of my teachers, find me anywhere else that is not a strip show or anything related to that, where you would have someone in latex, slut boots and fishnets. Find me anywhere. And you know what they came up with? The Moulin Rouge. And I said, no,
this is the problem.
That's a topless event. Try again. There's nowhere.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
There is actually nowhere.
Yeah.
It's so
that it's okay.
It's crazy that we normalize it. When you see someone like Tim come in and go, what the fuck is happening? He's used to it now. But that's the thing.
But there's always the first time parent.
That's interesting, isn't it?
It's okay, so let's talk about the age, because some studio owners, their reply to this will be, but the parents of my 17, 18-year-olds don't care. Okay, but what about the dad of the 8-year-old that's sitting in the audience? I know it's not his daughter, but, you know, sitting there as a dad of a younger child going, holy crap, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah.
I feel awkward.
It is awkward.
And, you know, for them, and you're like, do I want to keep paying for this? Is this what I want my daughter to become? There's all of that kind of going on. Even if the 8-year-old's dance is appropriate, it's not appropriate for an 8-year-old parent to see that of the 17, 18-year-olds, right?
Nope.
So I think it's really important to kind of think about that, and it's not good for your business.
It's not ideal. We had a troop this year. It's an amazing troop. It's won everything. And I did dress them in the in leotards, and this was at pep rally, and I changed the costume because I was like, no, this is not a vibe.
Yeah, okay.
There's too many things on the floor where legs are apart, and we didn't realize
so you
that.
owned it and made a change.
Yeah, we just put a skirt on them and it was fine.
Yep.
You know, like, and so I think like I said, either do a dress rehearsal in class or do something like pep rally where you go, oh, that's not working or whatever it might be, because we know in class they're not wearing that stuff. So it's nowhere
Especially when the look-in classes, the tracksuits and the baggy T-shirt.
The tracksuits are killing me.
All right. This has been a very long-winded podcast, probably our longest one ever. But we'd love to hear from you guys. So if there's something you love or hate in comps, let us know. I think it's interesting to see.
I like doing podcasts like this because people always come back to us and they're like, yes, that is exactly how I feel about it. And I actually love that. I love hearing from you guys going, yes, you really resonated with me there. Or maybe you totally disagree with us.
Absolutely,
I love hearing that too, because we have our own opinions and everyone's entitled to their opinion for sure.
Absolutely. If you've enjoyed this podcast, do us a favour, press subscribe wherever you listen to this, whether that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts or YouTube. We would so appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Dance Principles United podcast. If you'd love to learn more from us, we have a special offer just for our podcast listeners. Go to the link in the show notes right now to get 2 weeks free in Dance Principles United Tribe. We would love to see you there.